What's going on, YouTube? Means right here, Rep again with another video. Today I'm gonna bring you a vlog that I've actually wanted to do for a while now. There's been a lot of Call of Duties that came out between obviously forever now. Like we've had so many Call of Duties. I want to do my own personal tier list and just explain like why I put it where. This is a personal list. Like it's gonna be a mixture of personal experience from a public standpoint, like pubs and just whatever, like in-game shit, zombies maybe, I don't know, whatever, and also a competitive aspect, obviously like ranked playlists, or league playlists, game battles, tournaments, and all like LAN events and all that shit that I've done in my career. Um, so I'm just talk about that. I'm just gonna go in order. Disclaimer, real quickly though, we're gonna do this right now. Doesn't count. I know this is like disrespectful as fuck, but like Call of Duty 1, Call of Duty 2, and Call of Duty 3, as well as don't they don't count. Like I don't know what to call like not available because like I've played every single Call of Duty my entire life, so it's like that's why my tier list I feel like is gonna be better than like a lot of these other people's because like some people like they usually put hasn't never played it or they put something in the bottom like they never played it. To me, I have played it. I've played literally every single Call of Duty that we've ever had, and even like other ones that aren't even on like Big Red One and shit like that was on the original Xbox, which is kind of like a Call of Duty 2, Call of Duty 1, like kind of like a in between like remake or whatever. And so to me, they don't count because this was like before it took off and became a thing, like super popular, super playable, especially like competitive aspect. Like there was no competitiveness for like 1, 2, and 3, especially like well, 2 had a, like a little bit of a following, but not really. To me, like these 4 games don't count. I'm gonna put another one in here that doesn't count in my opinion. I apologize to anyone who is a fan of World at War. It doesn't count in my opinion. I personally, that's the one of the only Call of Duties that I didn't play as much as the other CODs. But again, it didn't have a competitive following. It was skipped over in the competitive year. That was the first time that we played a Call of Duty twice in one year in the like back-to-back years. The same COD, which was COD 4. But I'm gonna go in order after this. So like 1, 2, 3, we're gonna get into COD 4. Obviously, in my opinion, Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare is an S tier. Why? Very simple. It revolutionized the way we played Call of Duty. It started it all. That was the first Call of Duty that had like challenges and gun camos and created class and kill streaks, and we got to play how we wanted to play Call of Duty. In my opinion, like obviously like back in the day, like because like the first 3 CODs were just like here's this class where you're like a rifleman or a medic, and you couldn't do anything. You had no creativity behind it. It was like one dimensional. In this game, you had some creativity. You can make the class you want, the gun, the attachments, like everything was at your disposal. Although nowadays it's very restrictive how it used to be back in the day, but whatever. Now, was Call of Duty 4 perfect? No. I mean, the maps were amazing, like super god tier, just super so many good memories, like going for gold and red tiger camos and just playing with my friends back in the day. Shout out to those guys I played COD 4 with, like playing game battles and shit. Like S&D game battles was so good back in the day. All those guys, it's S tier for me. If I made an S plus, I'd put it in S plus. All right, so we're gonna skip World at War because that was the one that came out next. Again, doesn't count for me. It was skipped over in the competitive year. We played COD 4 2 years in a row for competitive, and I don't know. Again, I personally didn't really care for it as much anyway. I probably would have put like C or D anyway. I know Equinox, shout to Equinox. He probably put it in S tier because he loved that game. So whatever. Where's Modern Warfare 2? Modern Warfare 2 came after World at War, also S tier. To me, these 2 games are in my top 4 all-time CODs, which we'll get into the other 2 in just a minute. Modern Warfare 2, okay, so in my opinion, COD 4 revolutionized the way we played Call of Duty. Modern Warfare 2 took it to the next level, and it was like evolutionary. We had pro perks instead of regular perks as well. There was more camos that go for more challenges, more kill streaks, so more customization for your classes. So it took it to the next level. It was more variety as well, like attachments. There was way more perks, way more attachments, way more lethals and tactical, not just a frag grenade and a stun grenade. You actually had options to have other stuff like a blast shield or attack insertion or semtex, throwing knife. Like oh, like and plus sniping in that game was so god tier. The maps were god tier, like terminal, scrapyard, high rise, invasion, Karachi, even some of the crap like rundown. Like those maps were so like just like so many good memories. Like I still to this day have the best. That was my best game tour. Like the most kills I got in a game. It was demolition on Rundown, I went 128 and 8. That was my best individual statistic game I've ever had. 128 kills and 8 deaths. I used to play Demolition with my friend Neil. Shout out to Neil. If you ever watched this video, what's up, buddy? So after Modern Warfare 2 is Black Ops 1. You guys are not going to like this, but I have it in C tier. Why? I think that Black Ops 1 is the most overrated Call of Duty of all time. This is just my personal opinion. You guys can disagree with me all you want. Leave it in the comments below, like what you feel about Black Ops 1 specifically, or any of these CODs. Me personally, though, I think Black Ops 1 was good for its time. It was fun, but like I feel like it took it to the next level of customization because that was the first game that gave us character customization a little bit. Like each character, like when you had like your tier 1 perk, your character looked different, and you were able to put like face paint on. It had way more camos, and you can like buy camos in the game. Not like with real money, but like in-game currency, like you would like earn money and then like while you're leveling up, and you can like buy camos like gold eventually and all that stuff. That was the first game that had that. Like you can like buy stuff like that, so it was pretty cool. Um, Maps were okay. Again, like Firing Range Summit, that was the first game against Nuketown. I liked Havana personally. The game modes were fine. That was actually like the first Call of Duty they actually gave us an in-game competitive playlist. But I still put it in C, even though I'm praising it so much. It's because it was so boring. It was so boring, so one-dimensional, super AR dominant. Like all the subs in the game were trash. All the shotguns in the game were trash. Like every gun in the game was trash. Like they nerfed sniping. You couldn't quick scope really as good in that game. Super air dominant, super FAMAS dominant, especially in the competitive scene. If you guys never played competitive, everyone used the same class. FAMAS with red dot, Python speed reloader, lightweight, sleight of hand, ninja, either Semtex or frag. That was like the only personal preference, and then a stun grenade. That's it. Everyone used the same class. 8 FAMASs run the map at all times. There was a small point where the Semaphore was used in the beginning of the year, but then they got nerfed and blah, blah, blah. But that's just my opinion. I think Black Ops 1 is the most overrated Call of Duty of all time. I feel like it's not a bottom 3, but it ain't a top 3 either. It's like it's like bottom 5 in my opinion. Okay, so after Black Ops 1 was Modern Warfare 3. In my opinion, I'm going to put it in B tier because I feel and think the complete opposite of Modern Warfare 3 than I do Black Ops 1. I felt like Modern Warfare 3 was the most underrated Call of Duty of all time. Unfortunately, didn't have a good competitive year. There wasn't really a competitive year. Most of the LAN events were done halfway through the year in Europe. It was dropped from the MLG circuit, but it wasn't really the game's fault. It was actually Infinity Ward because they're a trash company who just can't do anything right for anyone, especially in competitive because they just hate us. There was no LAN support at all. You couldn't even do it. Like you physically couldn't even connect. There wasn't even an option to do like play local, play offline. Like it was just bad. But the game overall was good. Like the maps are good, time to kill was good. Um, Everything was good about it. That was the first game to get a specialist, so it can run around like all the perks once you get like a kill streak going. I thought it was great. A lot of good memories on there. I have 69 Moabs on there, and yes, that was done on purpose. So after Modern Warfare 3 is Black Ops 2. You guys already know where this is going. S tier. Best COD of all time. Don't care what anyone says. I can sit here for an hour and tell you how great Black Ops 2 is, but I will not. This COD, like Call of Duty 4, revolutionized Call of Duty. Like literally revolutionized Call of Duty. There would be like that was the first game since COD 4 that did that, where it just took anything we knew about Call of Duty and threw out the window. Like this was the first game that gave us the Pick 10 system. It was the first game that gave us hardpoint, league play, like a first time that we actually got an in-game ranked playlist. It was like score streaks, so they revamped how streaks work. Now it's more objective minded instead of just being a kill whore. Like it was perfect. If it wasn't for DDoSing and like hacks like that, like people like hitting people offline and shit, like that was like the only problem with the game. And that's not really like their fault. It's obviously like a networking issue. There is one big problem I guess the game had, which was like lag compensation. But outside of that, the game was perfect. Like there's nothing wrong with that game. All the guns were great. You can go into pubs with any gun and do well. Score streaks amazing. Hardpoint amazing. Like search and destroying that game was amazing. Competitive in that game was like that's the game that blew up competitive, like as a whole. Like that's where it started for real. Next is Ghost. I'm gonna put Ghost unfortunately in the D tier. I think that Ghost is a bottom 3 Call of Duty of all time. Complete opposite of Black Ops 2. Unfortunately, like pubs was just unfun. You couldn't even play. It was unplayable in my opinion. All I played the whole year was game battles and search and destroy and shit. Side note: if I was just talking competitive search and destroy and game battles and shit, Ghost would be number one actually, because to me, Ghost S&D was the best game we've ever had for just strictly search and destroy competitive. I did like the game competitively. I didn't love it. Like I hated the way they played Dom, even though that was the first game where Dom actually had a neutralization of flags. You actually could neutralize the flag, which I thought was cool. Blitz wasn't that bad as people thought it was. I thought Blitz was kind of cool because every map Blitz played differently. Like there was like Octane where you had to worry about spawn traps. Warhawk was all about the sneaky game. Freight was more super aggression. Win your gunfight, you're gonna get a capture probably because you're just all up in each other's face, like super small map, crazy. And of course, like I said, Search was just god tier. After goes S Advanced Warfare. I'm gonna put Advanced Warfare. I want to put it in. I want to put it like I'm gonna put it in S because it is my top four. Like that, this is my top four. Like in that order too. Black Ops 2, COD 4, Modern Warfare 2, Advanced Warfare. I love Advanced Warfare a lot. I think that was the best jetpack game we ever had. I think that like I just love it. Like I spent so much time playing that game, so much money playing that game with the supply drops. That was the first game that gave us supply drops. I played so many game battles tournaments. Lots. I have like thousands of pro points. Like I just play like 3v3 S&Ds. So many good memories and experience in that game. The game was just great though. It was super fun. I enjoyed jetpacking at first, but then we had 2 more years of it, which started to decline more and more, which we're gonna get into next, which is Black Ops 3. Black Ops 3 is A tier. I feel like I know people who think it's S tier. I know someone who thinks it's the best Call of Duty of all time. That's your opinion, but this is mine. I don't think it's the best though. It's like it's not top five. It's not bottom five. It's in the middle, in my opinion. I just don't think it was that. I don't think it was that good, but it was okay. It was solid. Definitely a good jetpack game. I hated wall running. I hated specialist though. That's just my opinion. But it was okay. It was enjoyable. Infinite Warfare came out next. D tier in my opinion. I know like a lot of pros will disagree with me on that. Some pros actually love this game a lot. From a competitive standpoint, it wasn't a bad game. But again, Infinity Ward didn't care about competitive. There was no in-game ranked playlist. There they gave us an unranked playlist eventually. SMGs in that game didn't have auto aim for like the first 3 months of the game. It was just super unfun, super unenjoyable. They had the game had like lasers and it just took it to like the next level. It was lasers and robot dogs and like people going into other dimensions and then people were like teleporting here and there. Like it was just it didn't feel like Call of Duty, even though it didn't feel like a Call of Duty game half the time. I don't even remember the names of the maps in that game. Honestly, I just remember like throwback, and that was it. I just don't remember anything from that game except for Optic Gaming winning champs. That's it. So after Infinite Warfare is World War II. I will put World War II probably C tier. I actually might move up to B actually because should I move it to should I move it to B? I do appreciate. Yeah, I'll move up to B. Cause I do appreciate it a little bit more than I did back in the day. Because it was the first game that gave us a like really good rank. That it has the best in-game rank playlist that we've ever had. Um, the game was pretty boring, pretty one-dimensional, just like Black Ops One. But it is slightly better than Black Ops One, just because like there was more variety to play with. Like you can play with like any gun. Like subs were good in that game. Sniping was good in that game. I know people hated divisions and basic trainings. I did too, but like it's not as bad as people put it, in my opinion. So after World War II, we have Black Ops 4. I'll put it in A tier. I I put it in A tier. I think it had. I think it's a top five COD probably. Top five, top six for sure. Personally feel like it was better than Black Ops 3 just because like it was a jetpack game with the jetpacks. 5v5 is kind of annoying. I hated control in that game, but it was fun. Like league play was cool, even though I hated league play. Like the system it had was trash in my opinion, but like it was cool, I guess. But it was good. wasn't great, but it was good. Like specialists were fine, even though they're kind of OP because like everyone had weapons as well as like equipment. But overall, like I like again during its time when I played it, I enjoyed it a lot. Like I had fun playing it. Plus, again, I'm not gonna talk about like Blackout or Warzone for that matter, but that'll be like a separate thing. And speaking of Warzone, Modern Warfare in the D tier. It's the worst cut of all time. Again, like Black Ops 2, I could sit here for like an hour talk about how much I fucking hate Modern Warfare. I'm not even gonna talk about it. It's the worst cut of all time. Ironically, my D tier literally, and I mean literally, has every single game was made by the same company. Gee, I wonder why. And Cold War, last but not least. I'm actually gonna put an A tier. It's not a top five cut. It's not a bottom five cut. It's in the middle. To me, like if I had to put it in order, I would put that right there, Cold War right there, or not. Cold War right there, and then World War II in front of Modern Warfare, and that'd be like my list right there. That sound. This seems about right. Because again, I think that yeah, because my bottom five would be Modern Warfare 3 and Black Ops. Yeah, so I put it in order like right there. So this is actually like in order now. What I feel like would be the best versus the worst, best to worst in my opinion. Cold War I actually enjoyed quite a bit. I was gonna do a whole video about like likes and dislikes about, but I'm not gonna even get into it. But I actually enjoyed it a lot. I know like a lot of people hated it, skill based matchmaking, blah 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 blah. But I enjoyed it. I thought it was fine. Like that was, it was this was the first COD in a very long time to actually play the entire year. Like I'm still playing it right now, which that says a lot. Because like the bottom three CODs I have, I stopped playing. Well, except for Ghost because I played competitively. But like Modern Warfare, I stopped playing like mid March, and then Infinite Warfare, I stopped playing literally January 24, and I came back April 24, and then I stopped playing it again, and I came back like during like double XP weekend just like level up. And same with Black Ops 3. I did that with Black Ops 3 too. I kind of stopped playing after a while pretty quickly. World War 2, I put up higher because I actually have went back to playing it recently, and I kind of reappreciate it a little bit. But that's just how I feel. This is my opinion. Let me know in the comments what your opinion is. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, leave a like, subscribe to the channel. I'd appreciate that as well. But this is my list, my tier list for Call of Duties, and we'll be back with Vanguard. I'll like add Vanguard like next year when it's all said and done.